Okay, let's get this started. We can't go throwing around hands right now because
Oh,
we don't really
what a
have much to go on.
tragedy. What a cruel twist of fate. And to think, tonight was meant to be an evening of joy and making merry.
And making love.
I'm not exactly sure that joy is the word I'd pick for an evening in this house. But I'll admit, I was never expecting anything like this.
It was such a monstrous sight. Do you think Miss Leah and Miss Charisse will be alright?
We'll find out.
All right. They looked healthy enough to me.
No, I mean, do you think they'll be distraught? You, if you don't mind me saying, are a woman of the world, Miss Fortune. But they are so young, so pure, like a newly bloomed flower that has only seen sunlight, never knowing that there is also night and all the horrors that it hides.
A rose, by any other name, can still prick you quite nastily if you don't know what you're doing.
I beg your pardon?
Never mind, my dear Horatio.
Okay, let's start our questioning.
Horatio, how long had you known our dear departed host?
I have, well, had been his closest friend and confidant for many years.
Oh yes, the grand magus of his court, didn't you say?
I did, but alas, though I can conjure a parlor trick or two, I could do little to foresee this unseemly doom.
Indeed, unseemly, just the word I would have used. Presumably you would know then, if the prince had any enemies.
A man like the prince always does, but none of them are here.
At least that you know of.
I would say the evidence suggests the contrary.
Unless you're one of the enemies.
Surely you don't mean to suggest that it was one of us. After all, didn't you say that all your husbands just died from bad luck? Perhaps it was that.
Yes, quite. Bad luck.
Yes, the other lady in purple is definitely my prime suspect because she's also had that same bad luck. Unless I'm the one that did it, then that's gonna get real awkward.
Where were you when this absolutely dreadful business happened?
I imagine I must have still been in the basement, or very close to it. I'd only just got the lights back on, and I was coming up the stairwell when Klops found me.
Was he the one to discover the body then?
I believe so. He asked me to help find all the guests, which leads me to cleverly deduce that I was the first one he encountered after the gruesome discovery.
Clever indeed. Nothing gets past you, does it, dear?
Ahem. Well, I wouldn't go that far. But where were you, Miss Fortune?
I was in the king bedroom.
Alone?
As it happens, yes. I've always been the sort to need a little bit of me time every so often, you know.
But you could have been in danger.
Oh, horrors, you're right. If only I was clairvoyant, I might even have been worried at the time, too.
Well, never fear. You're safe with me now.
Yeah, no, go away.
Yes, I'm sure I am.
Okay, what about the announcement?
Prince Titanico mentioned an announcement that he wished to make this evening. Do you know what that was all about?
Well, but it sounds like somebody did want him making it.
Yes. Or at least, I think so.
You mean you're not sure?
You must understand, the prince was a man with a flair for the dramatic. He rather liked his secrets, and hence his surprises.
Maybe he planned this all along, maybe.
That I don't doubt. In fact, I wouldn't put it past him to have staged his own death, just to leave us all in suspense.
My dear friend did have rather unusual tastes, but I fear in this case it was not part of the plan.
You sure
I
about
see.
that?
So, are you going to tell me then?
About what?
About the announcement, of course.
No, I think not.
Of course you won't.
Oh?
As I said, he liked his secrets. Telling you now, it just wouldn't be what he'd want.
So you're helping him with it then. Okay, you're slowly nudging your way up to suspect number 1.
Well, if you do so insist on being obstinate, I suppose I will have to make do on my own.
A true magician never reveals his secrets, Misfortune, nor those of his friends.
I do believe it's about time I took a bit of a stroll.
Do be careful, Misfortune, and please, if you have need of my talents,
Worry not, my dear. If the lights happen to go out again, I'll know just who to call.
Okay, well, bye. Well, you may now examine your inventory. Luggage icon top left of your screen. So I got a purse.
The evening must be wearing on me more than I thought. Even my purse seems heavy. A knife? In my bag? It's even flecked with blood.
How did that get into my bag? Did the magician sneak it in? Okay, well that's gonna make me look hella suspicious. Unless I was the one that did it.
And what's this? A ring? It looks decidedly pricey, but it's not one of mine. How did it get here?
Okay, diamond ring.
For just a moment, I was confused. But then the gruesome sight of Titanico's body flooded my thoughts, and the truth hit me. I was being set up. Almost certainly, what I held in my hands was the knife that had stabbed the prince. I don't know how it got in my purse, but whoever put it there had made a mistake. Because if there's one thing I know for sure, it's that anyone who tries to frame me for murder is going to regret it.
So you're just gonna stab then? Okay, well, got those. Better not show them to anybody, cause otherwise, yeah, we might be the next to be murdered. Ooh. Okay, so we can actually go into different parts of the house. Okay, well, okay, I don't know whereabouts we are now, but, let's go back to the main hall. Might as well go look at the body first. Yep, still there.
As best I knew, our mysterious murder had happened here, in the hall. At the very least, I thought the body warranted a closer look. Luckily for me, I was no stranger to corpses. Funerals for 9 different husbands will do that, you know.
Yeah.
13, 14, 15.
Are you good there, Sharice?
It seems I'm not alone here. But what is the poor girl doing? She's just pacing back and forth and muttering to herself. Have the evening's events already broken her fragile little mind?
And is she gonna start going around, going on a killing spree? Let's try talking to her.
My dear little Miss Charisse, What in the world are you doing?
I'm counting.
Yeah, no shit. Why are you counting?
So good to see they still teach that in grade school these days. How marvelous.
I think the timing seems off. I need to check again.
Okay.
On second thought, maybe they don't teach it so well after all.
I think she's talking about the timing between him dying and the lights turning on and everything. Yeah, the timing. Talk about that
I
more.
almost think I'll regret asking. But darling, what timing is off?
It's Mr. Klops, the butler.
Valet.
Oh, yes, of course.
Well, what about him then?
I saw him go into this room when the lights were out.
I see. Is that when he found the body, do you think?
I think so. He came running out looking for Mr. Horatio. I don't think he saw me.
So why were you
Well, you
hiding?
can't blame the poor man for that. He only sees half as much as the rest of us. But just what does that have to do with all your pacing and counting?
I think he was in here too long.
I beg your pardon. Too long?
I've been timing how long it takes to walk from the door to the body. It doesn't add up. I'm sure he was in here longer. Maybe an extra 20 seconds.
Well, I mean, he could have been processing the fact that Prince is dead, so...
Well, aren't you a delightfully clever little girl? Maybe you should have been a detective rather than a fabulously wealthy industrial heiress.
Oh, it's nothing really. It's just... well, it's not my first time being around a murder case. That's all. I guess that helps a little.
Okay, you might be a good help, or great help in this case, unless you're the one that killed him. Oh, we unlocked Sonic. Another murder?
I'm sorry, my dear, but did you say this isn't your first murder?
Yes. I mean, no. I mean, it wasn't my murder. But I was there when it happened.
And you were able to solve it?
My. I never would have imagined. It must make for an absolutely thrilling story, I'm sure.
Please, you must forgive me, but I really don't want to talk about it.
Great. Okay, well...
Of course. How rude of me to pry. I'm sure the experience must have been just ghastly for you. But, oh my, you don't suppose it could have something to do with our current predicament, do you?
God, I hope not.
No, I don't think so. It was a long way away, and the killer was stopped. And besides, except for Leah and I, nobody here was involved.
So Leah might be the killer then?
Well, that's a relief. It would be just awful if there was a serial killer following you around, or something like that. It must just be coincidence, then, that people keep dropping dead wherever you go.
Say with your husbands.
I suppose that it must be.
Yeah, well, you seem to all have that bad luck. Okay, what about you and the prince?
In any case, it's a good thing I found you, my dear. I had a feeling you just might be in need of my expertise.
Your expertise?
Oh, yes, dear. I've buried 9 husbands after all. I've got this morning business down packed, if I do say so myself.
Forgive me, I didn't know. I'm so sorry to hear it. That's just so much bad luck for one lifetime.
One gets used to it. And it's not all bad news. My last husband, the Duke, left me this marvelous country estate that is absolutely to die for. But here I am going on and on about myself. You must be so terribly distraught about all of this.
The prince and I, well, we hadn't been seeing each other for very long. Still, it's such a horrible crime. That's why I can't rest until I know the truth behind it.
He did seem rather smitten with you, I must say.
Again, how old is this chick?
Well, he just liked to exaggerate, I'm sure. He had rather his own unique way with words.
Again, how do we know that? How do we know the age of this girl? Because it still looks like a child to me.
One way to put it. You don't suppose that in his grandiose infatuation, he wrote you into his will, did he?
Oh, I can't imagine that he would have. He never said so anyway.
Pity. That's usually the first thing I ask for. Ah, well. Live and learn, my dear.
Okay, well, back we go. Well, let's examine the room. Click to stop it. Oh yeah, we just click up there. Yeah, there's landing. Oh, okay. Ooh, we can't look at that, but we can look at this.
The phone itself was heavy, made of metal, and certainly quite old-fashioned. Normally, that's the sort of style I prefer, but right now, a call history of some kind would have come in rather handy. But why is the receiver dangling like that? Did this table get bumped at some point?
Maybe he got chased down? Not entirely sure yet.
The phone itself was heavy, made of metal, and certainly quite old. But
Okay,
why
so
is the
yeah. Okay.
I suppose I could dial a number here, if I knew of one worth calling.
Okay, so we could call a number. Could we do 911?
That just seems like a random number. I certainly don't mind making a crank call or two now and again, but this probably isn't the time or place.
No. Well, I don't know whereabouts we are, so I don't know the scene number for it. Okay. We can look around a little bit. Oh, we can look at the wire here.
What have we here? There's an extra wire clipped to the back of the phone. I'm quite certain this sort of phone doesn't normally need more than one wire. Let's just leave it alone for now, shall we?
Okay. It's a tampering. Ooh. Okay, well. Okay, we can go back by doing that. God, that's a big pile of fucking dirt.
The house must have been abandoned for quite some time indeed. For on one side of the hall, part of the wall itself had collapsed, and nature was slowly but surely spilling into the house and reclaiming its territory. Let's hope that the place would hold up long enough for us to wrap up our little party at the very least.
Yeah. Okay, big ass doors. That's probably to the entrance. Bunch of doors. Look back around. Okay, let's look at his body. He's obviously been stabbed once in the
I decided
back.
it was time to take a closer look at the body. Corpses are always a bit distasteful, to be sure, but I'd seen enough rich old lords killed in unfortunate hunting accidents that I was rather used to it.
Okay, yeah, there's
The
a step.
prince's most obvious injury was the wound on his back. Judging from the way the clothes had been pierced, it had almost certainly been made by a knife.
Yeah,
The
I already
wound
deduced
itself
that.
was deep and vicious. Clearly the work of no ordinary butter knife. The blood had soaked through the back of the prince's evening wear, but given the nastiness of the wound itself, there wasn't as much of it as I might have expected.
So there might be more blood somewhere else. Okay,
There was
hand.
something odd about the prince's right hand. I knelt down to get as close a look as I could without touching it. The palm and inside of the fingers had been burnt and blackened.
Oh, that's weird.
I checked the left hand as well, just to be sure, but it seemed undamaged.
So it's only the right hand. Oh, that's definitely weird. Oh, you got the
The
leg.
prince was face down on the floor, and there was an odd angle to his right leg. So odd, in fact, that I'd wager a platinum necklace or two that it was broken in at least one spot.
I think I may know what may have happened.
Could simply collapsing on the spot from a stab wound cause a break like that?
Yeah,
I
no.
seriously doubt it.
Because I think it might have to do with the extra wire on the phone. Okay, hold on, was there anything else to look at? Yeah. Yeah, if it... Yeah, almost looks like the wire here was hanging down. So it could have been that his body was either hung from the wire and then let go from here, and it like got broken on the way down, or he got pushed over. But either way, I think he may have fallen from this landing over. That's how I think that might have happened. Okay, well, I think we're done here for now. Okay, we can't talk to her, so let's leave for now. If you gain an important piece of information, it might be useful to go back and talk to characters you previously talked to. Oh, okay. Well, we already tried talking to her, so, oh, and a nice little tick to let us know we're done there, so, there, let's just make our way through here, so we'll go to the dining hall next. Okay. Oh, you're still in here. Of course you are. Okay, let's examine the room. Yeah, there's this flag that's been
The
torn
family
off.
crest of the Lees still adorns some of the flags and banners that hung from the walls in the dining room. I suppose it wasn't a bad crest, really. A little overly dramatic with all the spikiness, perhaps. But then, they weren't exactly a family that had cultivated a particularly cuddly image.
Okay, yeah. Okay, she doesn't want to note that that's torn off. Must not be important. This is a weird fucking monument.
At first, I was inclined to laugh at the giant, oddly proportioned statue that was the dining room's centerpiece. But as I drew closer, I couldn't help but feel a bit intimidated by the way it loomed over me.
Is that Slender Man?
Then again, I could say the exact same things about that gruesome one-eyed manservant Klops. Who'd have ever thought he would have so much in common with a work of art?
Oof, burn. Okay, yeah. That's definitely a fucking weird thing. Okay, another flag.
The family crest of the Lees still adorns some of the flag.
Oh, hold on, table.
Long, narrow tables stretched down either side of the room for what seemed like forever. At one end were the remnants of our refreshments from earlier. But I think I'll leave them alone for now. I mean, it didn't look like poison had anything to do with the prince's death, but one can never be too careful.
That's true, but I also noticed it almost looks like eyes are peering out of these. Really fucking creepy. Okay, anything else? There's also this
Long,
table.
narrow table stretched.
Yeah,
I mean, it didn't.
Yeah, we already talked about all that. Ooh, lantern?
Inside the lantern was a candle. I doubt anyone would notice if I took it with me.
Ooh. Okay. Ooh, I got a candle. Cool. Okay, that will come in handy. Yeah, I think we're done with this room. Okay, there wasn't really much in here. Okay, well, can we... Yeah, can't really talk to you, so... Okay, next room is the smoking room. we'll go in there next. Okay, who's in this room?
I returned to what the prince had called the proverbial smoke-filled room. It struck me that this would be the perfect place to call everyone and reveal the truth to this mystery. All in good time, of course.
Ooh, okay, so this will be our final resting place.
In the meantime, I thought it wise to take another look around while I still had the room to myself.
Oh, okay, so I'm alone in this room. Everyone, I know who the killer is. Yeah, let's do it right now. Yeah, I have literally, basically no evidence. Okay, let's have a look around. A lot of broken stuff. Ooh, some
On one
wine.
side of the room, there was a wine rack filled with dusty old bottles. Most were empty, but a few still contained small amounts of what must have been very well-aged red wine. At least, I hoped it was just wine. With a family like the Lees, one could never be quite sure. Perhaps I should take a bottle with me to check it later.
Ooh.
Just in case.
Okay. So we got a bottle of blood. Great. I guess they were all vampires. Or thought they were vampires, maybe? I don't know. Okay, mirror. Okay. Nothing here noteworthy. Oh, book. No. About this, no. Okay, there's a statue here that we can look at.
The strange pose of the statue in the corner of the room rather reminds me of a third footprint. You see, the last time I saw the dear old boy, he was in the process of losing his balance and tumbling down the whole stairs. Terrible tragedy, really. I had to have those stairs completely replaced just to get the blood out.
Yeah. I didn't really need that image in my brain. Okay, well, there's a cabinet here. Oh yeah, this had all the strange things in it.
That cabinet had a few things of interest in it, if I remember correctly. Let's...
Oh, didn't mean to skip over that. Okay, yeah, this is Wicca thing.
In the cabinet, there was an odd little doll that seemed to be made out of straw. Was it some kind of voodoo doll? I tried making those a time or two myself, although, to my great dismay, they never seemed to actually work quite right.
Yeah, that's probably for the best. What about this cushion?
A padded velvet cushion sat in the cabinet looking somewhat forlorn. Surely it was meant to showcase something more interesting, but there was nothing on it now.
Ah, yeah, that would make a lot more sense.
I could swear that something had been on this cushion before.
You can sort of see the
Just
imprints.
what was it?
You can still sort of see the imprints on it. Oh. Okay, yeah, we don't have anything as of yet right now. Maybe?
Yes, that was it.
Oh wait, was it the...
There had been a knife on the cushion.
Yes, there
I was
was!
sure of it. And
Oh
not
my god, I
just
almost
any-
forgot about that.
The knife that may have stabbed the prince.
Oh shit, so somebody took the knife from here. Okay.
Who could have taken it? I cast my mind back, trying to remember if anyone had lingered behind for even a moment. But it availed me nothing. The prince had been the first to leave the room, but that was the only thing of which I was certain.
Okay. We need to figure out who was the last to leave. Yeah, I'd almost forgotten about that. Okay, well, there doesn't appear to be anything else in this room, so let's leave here for now. Okay, next will be the breaker room. Oh, this is creepy.
Thanks to my candle here, I should be able to find the light switch. Ah, there we go.
People say very fucking loud. I can barely hear the voice actress.
With only a little effort, I found my way down to the basement of the old house.
I can't tell if that's blood or rust. I'm assuming rust, seeing as it's all on everything. Metal.
Although our little adventure with the lighting had seemed natural enough at the time, given the condition of the house, the prince's murder had colored all of the evening's happenings with a more sinister shading. Perhaps examining the house's electrical panel for myself would shed some light on the mystery.
Okay, let's examine the room, because you can't really examine much. Yeah,
That must be the breaker panel. Let's take a closer look, shall we?
Yeah, I don't think there's really anything else to look at in this room, so...
I don't know much about this sort of thing, but it looks to me that all the switches are on, except for one. Well, fun as it would be to make the little girl faint again, I probably shouldn't touch them for now.
Aww. Okay, yeah, what is this?
What have we here? It's an electrical timer.
Ooh.
I once used one of these in the school breaker room to shut off the lights during my high school exams.
So somebody set that there so that they could set it off so they could kill him. So somebody's already planned this. That wasn't a spur of the moment thing.
You can use it to flip a breaker switch at a predetermined time. The question is, just what is it doing here? I'm starting to think our little blackout earlier might have been no accident after all.
Yeah, that's what I am thinking. Okay, time to add it to inventory. Okay, what about this
The wiring
wiring?
is old, but it looks to me like it should all work. It's a bit of a mess, though. Hard to tell just what goes where.
Yeah. That's with all wiring.